Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Business Show. My name is KeTohn. I'm the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. And at this show, we talk about ways we can uplift, we can connect, we can learn about our community. We showcase small businesses that happen to be listed in our directory and brands that are not listed in our directory, because I truly believe that sometimes what you're looking for, exactly what you're looking for, is right in your own backyard. Today we have 5 different conversations that we're going to have, and I'm hoping that it reaches somebody out there that needs to hear it. We have some special guests joining us, so I will briefly just talk a little bit about Boss Babe Blog, introduce myself formally. I'm a business promotion specialist, and I'm the founder of BossBabeBlog.com. So if you are a small business owner needing assistance with marketing, advertising, and growing your brand, I highly recommend signing up for a complimentary discovery call. You can speak with one of my membership specialists and learn all about the benefits that come with being a member of our community. And if you feel like this is a great fit for you, you can fill out an application. And after filling out that application, you can be either approved, which means you're a great fit for our community, and we're going to go ahead and start promoting and advertising your business. So today I have 2 main opportunities that I want to share. And the first one is to be interviewed on our platform for free. You don't have to be a member of our directory. All you need to do is apply, go to our website, bossbabeblog.com, and click on our events page, and you can attend the Boss Babe Business Show, or you can just apply to be interviewed. The second opportunity that I want to share is actually dedicated to DFW spas and studios. If you're a wellness studio, nail salon, a spa, any of those that go back to self-care, and you're based in the DFW area specifically, and you have a brick and mortar location, I highly recommend texting us at 800-535. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my numbers. We have a call number and text line. For the text assistance, it's going to be 833-705-4352. And from there, you can just mention that you're interested in learning about our visibility package. This is a unique, tailored package for studio, brick and mortar based locations. It provides a somewhat of a trial experience of what it would be like to be a member of our directory. You receive membership, and then you receive 3 core benefits. And from there, if you enjoy those 3 core benefits and you decide you would like more, then you can upgrade to a different membership tier and use the credit that you originally purchased that first package with that goes into that new upgrade. So, hello, thank you for joining. So if you have any questions, I've given out my phone number. Our website is bossbabeblog.com. Now let's get into learning about these wonderful small businesses. Tonight's conversations, we have quite a range. We're going to start off with our first guest. So this entrepreneur is actually a member of our directory. She's one of our newest members. She's also a membership specialist, meaning that she has experience on helping professionals with determining if it would be a great fit for them to join our directory. And she's in the business of healing and helping you with navigating through life so that you can support growing, building character, taking care of yourself, and honoring your worth. So I'm really excited to bring on this professional because she's here to talk about the journey to becoming her. So everyone, if you could just drop a round of applause, show some love, and let's bring on Tiffany. Thank you. Thanks for the love in the back. Okay, Tiffany, how are you?
Hi, hello everyone. How are
Happy
you?
Thursday. I'm doing good. I'm just breathing. You know, it's been that sounds so terrible. I'm just breathing. But it's been a very busy day. I felt like I haven't stopped outside of drinking some water and eating a snack and then just getting on to the next thing. So this is like my wind down time, but I'm excited. This is like recess for me. The Boss Babe Business Show is recess. So yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited to be on. Very excited to be able to tell my story. I know at one point I on a lot of videos that I put out, I'm like, oh, I'm camera shy. But the more I do it, the more comfortable I get. So I was very excited to be able to come on tonight.
Oh, that means a lot to me. And it's so funny that you say that because it's always people who tell me that they were camera shy or that they are that end up having the strongest performance when it comes to showing up for themselves on camera. Like you've said that, but I see you everywhere. Like I see you on YouTube. I see you go live in our selling communities. I see you on Instagram. Lacole said that too, and she's everywhere. I just got done being interviewed by her. So it's funny how that works. But let's talk a little bit about that though. How did you overcome that being camera shy outside of just, doing it more often? What else did you do to overcome that?
Um, I listened to some advice from you. I did. I joined the Patreon that you have, the boot camp, the creation. I'm in there. And you also put out where you were doing a 30-day challenge for showing up.
Yeah.
When I tell you it did wonders, I said, well, I'm going to do it too. So I did it. Copycat here. I did it right with you. And we're still active in that.
Yeah.
And honestly, just showing up. One of the benefits that you have with being a directory member is being able to schedule out interviews, being able to come on here. And one thing about me is when I do schedule things, I'm gonna show up, or at least I want to show up. So in it, like when this popped across my screen, I'm like, oh yeah, I get to be on there tonight. That really helps. Someone offering that service, you offering that service, you making the content boot camp creation, advising. You got to get out there.
Yeah.
And here I am. And I can't say there was anything else. That it's showing up, it's doing it. It's not, because I used to be so afraid of, oh my God, nobody's gonna listen. I stutter. This tongue will get a little tied. I've admitted that. but then I said, hey, you'll be able to understand it eventually. Replay it a few times. And I have come to an agreement with myself. I cannot worry about being perfect. And once you really say, we're not going to be perfect anyway.
Yeah.
And I also realized that there are people out there that can appreciate that you showed up and you weren't perfect. You just showed up and you were yourself. And once I got to that, and I've actually been showing up, it gets easier.
Yeah. I love that you shared that. For anyone out there that's struggling with that showing up phase, content creation, thank you for shouting out my Patreon account. That is another resource for anyone out there. Maybe you're not ready yet to be a part of the directory. You can try out our Patreon account. It's patreon.com. So PATRA. Oh Lord, I think it's. Let me just write it in the comments. But look, you lost me, Patreon. Oh Lord. Okay, yeah. So patreon.com/Boss Babe blog, and this is like an account where you can subscribe and get insight, advice, and there's different tiers, but it's just $5 a month if you want to join on. So we have a content creation boot camp. And that's what Tiffany is referring to. And one of the first things we talk about in that boot camp is all of your fears are going to come true. Now, are they really going to come true? No. But it's that shocker of everything that you're worried about. Like you're worried about people misunderstanding you. It's going to happen. You're worried about making a mistake and saying something the wrong way or stumbling over your words. It's going to happen. You're worried about someone taking your words and using them differently than what you said. It's going to happen, because the reality is that we live in this world where people make the choice every day to either make a positive impact or a negative one. And unfortunately, we're going to have times where people are not looking for receiving the message. They're just looking for something negative. And then you're going to have times where people are genuinely here to receive your message. So you can't miss out on what is there for you, what's in store for you, out of fear of people who are already not committed to hearing you or understanding you. So that's really the concept. But I appreciate you for sharing that. And yeah, okay. And Brenda says she can definitely relate. So I understand. I understand that too. I can relate. It's very relatable, Tiffany. So now that we've kind of had that quick little, pep talk for anybody out there who needs to hear it, can you please formally introduce yourself to the audience? And then let's move into this conversation about the journey of becoming her.
All right. So my name is Tiffany. I am a certified life coach. I also go by the diamond, and I'll get into that as to why and how I got there. I am on a mission to help women who have been in toxic relationships or experienced seasons of loss or grief um, reclaim their identities, because I know that it is so easy to lose yourself in those situations. So reclaim their identities and walk in their God given purpose. Um, I believe that whatever it is that you were meant to do, um, you don't lose it. You can lose sight, but you don't actually lose that purpose. So that is my mission. I am the author of a book called Beautifully Scarred. It is a 10-day poetic devotional, my very first book, hopefully more to come. I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I am a new entrepreneur. I still have a 9 to 5, but I am working on building a business, which will be the life coaching business. And I'm just happy and grateful to be here. That's me.
Sorry, my mic was muted. It was me. It wasn't you. We do this at least one show, guys. Yeah. But thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I just want to give you your flowers for your consistency on showing up for your business. It can be hard sometimes showing up for your business in general, but it's also a unique challenge to show up for your business while also juggling the 9 to 5 responsibilities, as well as, your life responsibilities. So sometimes that overwhelming feeling comes over entrepreneurs, and then they end up not continuing the pursuit of growing their brand. So I do want to just give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move into, the journey to becoming her. What is this topic about?
So, her and I've even, so for a long time, I've referred to myself as Diamond. Diamond is the Tiffany that got buried for a long time, a while back. And to get to her, I had to go through a series of things. And going back, I have to take you back um, to a young teenage girl who was pregnant. Um, and then I lost my mom. I lost my mom in December. I had my first child in April. Um, I didn't do any I didn't do any therapy or anything like that. So I went from being a a young teenage girl, just a normal teenager, um, your average teenager, to pregnant, to losing my mom, to I'm stepping into adulthood. This is what it is. And for a long time, I've never said this, but for a long time, because my mom died of a stroke. She had a stroke. And for a long time, KeTohn, I carried around that I killed her. This was my fault. This was why she was gone. I carried that. And I did not tell anyone, but it was in me. This is what I thought. If I wouldn't have been pregnant, if I worried the crap out of her, this is my fault. So for years, I carried that. In between that, because I am a mother of 7, in between having that first child, I had 6 more. I got married at 18. That didn't work. I got with another man that I stayed with for um, 18 years, almost 19, and we had 6 kids together. Um, but yeah, I carried that all during that. In the back of my mind, I had took my mom out. Um, so um, and so I got with this other man after the marriage, and we stayed together, but it was toxic. Mm, it wasn't all bad. I got my children. I love them. They definitely love me. I have their back. They have mine. But the relationship that he and I had was just it shouldn't have went 18 years. It was just toxic. And now that I look back on that, a lot of that was because I was carrying this guilt. I really felt guilt. I really felt in my mind that it was my fault that my mom had died. And even though he wasn't the best to me or for me in my mind, if I work hard enough, if I help him change, if I don't walk out, then it can get better. And to go even further, I thought, if I stay here, and I'm not gonna give up on him because at least he's staying with me. That was one of my because what happened with my mom, that was
Yeah.
one of my biggest fears, losing people.
Yeah.
Losing people. And to even put that into more context, now there's a whole lot out there about healing, about mental health, about it's a journey and it's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. I'm glad it's out there. But when all of this went on with me, trauma after trauma after trauma, that wasn't a thing. You know how stuff comes to pass and everybody kind of jumps on the
Yeah.
bandwagon, and
Yeah. Yeah. It
that
wasn't.
wasn't a thing.
It wasn't
Yeah,
trending.
no, no,
Yeah.
they wasn't trending. Healing wasn't trending. Getting a bag was trending. Was trending.
Yeah.
Keeping your family fed was trending. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So even when I left that relationship, because I stayed there for over 18 years, about 19, when I walked out of that, I walked right into another relationship. No stopping to take care of me. No stopping to get with God and see what do I need to go from here. None of that. Just walk right on into a relationship. I look back on that and I know that's because I identified with one of my identities that I had picked up was Tiffany and
Mm.
Tiffany and I identified with a relationship. And I know that I if and if it's some ladies out there, if that's one of your identities, it's okay to have a relationship and like marriages and things of that sort. In relationships, I'm all for it. But you got to be able to identify for yourself. If you can't be alone, I couldn't. That was a thing for me. I could not. I thought I couldn't be alone. But if you can't be alone with yourself, it starts with you, right?
Yeah.
So, um, had several relationships after that, all of them toxic. But if you don't close the door on something, you're only going to keep repeating it, right?
Yeah.
In my case, I kept repeating. So, in the last toxic relationship that I had, I mean, it's horrible. Um, I'm from Arkansas, but I was trying to leave it, or I was saying I was trying to leave it. I came to Wisconsin. I have a couple brothers here, and they were like, well, sis, you can come up here, start your life up here, good opportunities here. And I don't like it here. It's kind of cold, but I like it here. But even then, I invited that right back.
Mm.
And it is my belief, and just from experience, you can become so comfortable. I call what I was going through an addiction. You can become so comfortable with toxicity, with it's like your toxicity becomes a normal.
Yeah.
So, um, but now here I am in the present, and I'm sorry, y'all, I have jumped everywhere. I'm in the present, and that's where the diamond comes from. Even back then, when I didn't know why I was describing myself as diamond or the diamond, if you know anything about diamonds, you know they're formed in the earth. they're formed from pressure. They come, it's over years of pressure. And out of their pressure, out of their fire comes this beautiful, shiny diamond, me. I consider those years, all that turmoil, all of that I went through, I consider that the fire. I consider that the pressure that formed the woman sitting before you today. And it's been a journey, and I'm still, I'm still healing. I'm healing in real time. But now I've gotten to a point where, because if you had met me even, let me just back up. If you had met me even last year, I wouldn't have told you none of this. It was a part of me that I wanted to keep hidden. It was a part of me that I did not, I just wanted to keep hidden because it's a lot of shame there, you know. It used to be it, a lot of guilt. I made some decisions that affected not only Tiffany, but the children that I have. You know what I mean? Now, they didn't get like abused or anything like that, but I have faced homelessness. I have been around like any drug that you can name. I didn't do them. I think God has an aura over my life where that just wasn't me. I think He placed me there because I talk to people. I love people, and I would encourage some of the people that I was around, and they would encourage me like, you know, you don't belong here. The relationship that I was in at the time, that's what it consisted of. I mean, he was on. Let's just be real. But I never did. Thank you, Jesus. I never did. Um, and I'm thank God that I'm at a point in my life where I can tell my story and I can help someone out there who's been through and think, because when you do finally, you know, get to yourself and you think, what was I thinking? I know that was my thinking, you know, what was I thinking? How could I have let this go on for so long with myself?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that shame comes in at. That's where that guilt comes in at. I think I believe it was necessary. I believe it was necessary. I think that my testimony, thank you, Conitra. I think that my testimony will help so many women out there that are in the same situation or similar situations that I was in. And to be able to speak up and say it, that's where that diamond, out of those ashes, out of that fire, out of that pressure, I still shine. And so that's that journey. It's a long story, KeTohn, but
It used to,
that's
used
it
to,
in a nutshell. Um, I went and got I went and got my life coach certification. Um, because that's, like I said, I love people. I lived in I stayed in a women's shelter at one point. Met a lot of different women. You never know what a person is going through, and you never know. You think your situation is bad until you hear someone else's story.
yeah.
So, and it's been my experience, like going through that stuff. Like I said, I experienced homelessness. I've been in shelters. People tend to I won't say forget about, but it can feel that way. It can feel that way. It can just feel like like there's nothing left. And so I definitely got to tell my story so someone out there if they're going through that, you haven't been forgotten, and it is okay to go get some help. There's no shame in it, and yeah, you haven't been forgotten. So that's my story.
Well, I appreciate you for having the vulnerability moment with us, talking about some of the things that you experienced and went through. As always, commend you for the things that you've been able to overcome. And a lot of the stuff that you said, I feel is very relatable. At least I feel that way. I think there's a lot of women that have experienced different things in different phases
Yeah.
of their life. And if it's something that's traumatic, oftentimes that trauma is associated with shame. So the courage to be able to tell people what they went through and how they might want to avoid, or how they could do things better. We don't often get to that conversation because of the shame behind it. Like, I don't want to say that I was in a bad relationship, or I don't want to say that I experienced this abuse, physical, emotional, whatever it might be. So I really do love when I see people like you, being that voice for other people who just haven't gotten there yet, because we've all experienced something on some level in our
Yes.
life, many of us, but we just haven't gotten there yet to where we can just talk about it and be vulnerable and not feel like shame. Because when you open up that floor for vulnerability, there's always going to be an opportunity for someone to take it as something different, like what we talked about earlier.
Yes.
I think that comes with it as well. But what we always have to remember is two things. The first thing is that on the flip side of it, oftentimes we are focused on something way more than other people are. There's actually a psychology theory tied to that. I don't know, I can't think of the exact name, but if you look up psychology theories or psychological theories about how we focus on how we look more than other people are even focusing on us, there's a theory tied to that. And then the second thing is, on the other side of it, you don't, like you said, you don't know what somebody is going through or what they went through to get to that place to even be able to share it. So I just appreciate you for sharing that sentiment. And even back to what you said about like your mother, um, that's a really huge thing. I resonate with the idea of not wanting to lose people, because I've lost people in my life, but also um, I've had relationships that I built with people that to me were so beautiful, and then I lost those relationships. So to see that in real time, it did create a heightened sense of fear of loss. What happens if this is the last time I see this person? Or what happens if this is the last message that I send to this person? How do I want to,
Yes.
what impact do I want to leave? Which is another big reason why I try to focus on impact in my life. Like every day that you wake up, what is the impact that you want to make? You don't have to touch a million people, but if you could touch at least one person in a positive light, something as simple as you're doing a great job. Don't give up. Keep up the amazing work. You looked beautiful in your event. You know, great job with this. Even if it's not business related, it's just what kind of impact can you make today? Because you just don't know what people are
You
experiencing. So
don't.
I definitely resonate with that. And also, you have to balance that want to preserve every relationship because you have lost people. There's a balance of, I want to preserve this, but I'm not going to allow you to disturb me. So I want to preserve myself as well. And I think that we don't get
Was a
there.
word.
Yeah,
Was a word.
it's the truth. Like, you want so bad to keep this person, like, oh, I love you, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so let me keep going through these toxic experiences with you because I don't want to lose you and I don't want to lose any more people in my life. But then you have to remember that preservation, it starts internally. So if you're doing things in this relationship that are not protecting you and honoring your worth, you're not really going to be able to preserve the relationship with them anyways. So, I had to get to that space, like friendships, relationships, business, to the point where I was like, okay, I really don't want to miss out on a connection with this person. I do love them. I do care about them. But how far am I going to push myself before I'm over the ledge and it's too late to come back? That's the
Yes.
question I have to ask myself in every relationship. And it's a hard question to ask, but you have to. Somebody has to do it. And it's not going to be the person that you went that's putting you through it. It's going to have to be you that sets that boundary. Um, and Brenda said, thank you, Tiffany. Many of us women need to hear what you went through, but you press through, use your pain to help others. Very much appreciated, Brenda.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot. That was a lot. You shared a lot, and I know there's people out there that can relate to that. My mother, She was at one point in a women's shelter, and I'm gonna pass it over to you after this, because I know that you have some solutions you want to share for women that might be transitioning, emotionally.
Mhm.
Um, but she was in a shelter, and it was a battered women's shelter because she had to leave an abusive relationship. And that thought process of, I have to leave this because I can't let my child go through this or experience this, is the same thought process that she had when she decided to leave. Because being with someone who was physically violent, having altercations, and then seeing the effect, whether it's from your child seeing something directly or from them seeing your attitude and your mood, that was her motivation, part of her motivation to just leave. And in that process going there, some of the things that she would tell me that she saw or experienced, it's disappointing. So I do think there are women out there who probably do feel forgotten when they're going through this. I know there are, because some of
Yeah.
the stories she would tell me about, being in the shelter together, and all the women would sit in a circle, and they're supposed to be healing, they're supposed to be going through therapy, but it felt like an ongoing cycle of just sitting in trauma. Didn't, that further step of taking action towards healing, that was missing. And part of it was missing because people who were in this shelter weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. They weren't following the rules. They weren't giving the people the donations that they were supposed to be receiving. I mean, so many things going on behind the scenes.
Oh God,
So
yes,
when
yes.
you're going through stuff like that, it is very easy for you to feel like you're forgotten. So that was a very beautiful message. Um, and I would love for you to just kind of transition and tell us how you translated some of these things that you went through into a solution for women who are dedicated to their growth.
Certainly. So, um, like I said, I went and got a life coach certification so that I am able to hold a space for women, um, so that they can reclaim their identities. Like I said, I just know how it is to lose yourself. I know how it is to go to a mirror and think, who is this in this mirror? I've definitely been there. Um, so I am currently working on several, not several, currently working on a group program, a coaching program that will help with this. And I'm also gifting. And let me be clear. I want to say gifting because not only is it a gift from me to you, but if someone is giving me their time because they are looking into what their next steps are, they are trying to find the closure that they need for any situation, it's a gift to me. So I am gifting at this time sessions, and it doesn't have to be romantic. My specialty is the romantic part because I've been there, and so I definitely know how that is when you get out of that. But it can be about anything, anything that you are looking to map your next steps out on. You can go to my site, www.ratingthecrown.com, and book a session there, and I will be more than happy to hold that space for you and help guide you towards your next steps. Um, while my book isn't a solution, it is it's a catalyst. It's a starting place for wherever you are in your healing journey. And yeah, those are my solutions. I will be more than honored to hold a space for anyone.
Thank you for sharing that. And anyone that would like to visit her website, we did pin it to the top of the comments. It's radiantlycrowned.com. So you have shared a free resource available, which is that complimentary life coaching session to discuss ways to navigate through or cope through toxic relationships. And you also emphasize that when you talk about coping, you're not just talking about romance, you're talking about work relationships, friendships, family.
Yes. Because any of that can be toxic. Any of
Yeah.
that can be traumatizing, especially if you are having to adapt yourself down or put on a mask or, any of that, whether it's friendship, parental, especially the workplace. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Ooh,
And getting that closure on it, closing that door on it, figuring out what those next steps are is very important. And I'm certainly more than honored to hold that space for anyone.
thank you. Thank you very much, Tiffany. I would like to ask you before we move on to our next interview, I want to ask you, is there one last message you want people to sit on or think about over the weekend?
Yes. I would say that healing and especially mental health is very important. If you have any something that you're going through, don't think that it's too small and it's not too big for you to reach out and get the help that you not only need, but that you deserve. Everyone deserves to have peace. Everyone deserves to heal from whatever situations they've been in, and everyone deserves to be heard.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Tiffany. I really appreciate you for joining us this evening. And I just want to say congratulations on all of the awesome things that you're doing. I don't know if you saw my message on Patreon or not yet, but
I haven't.
oh, okay. Well, I did send a message in our private chat, but it was just to say, you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the awesome work, and I'm really proud to be able to support your vision because the story it resonates with me on a personal level, but also I just know how lonely that journey can feel, especially when we live in this world where people are so judgmental when it comes to relationships. Um, so yeah, and boundaries is a big topic that we often discuss, but do we actually execute it properly? That's the real question.
No.
Yeah. So, we say boundaries all day long, but do we actually execute the boundaries? Are we telling people, no, unfortunately, I can't do that today. I have to rest? Are we letting people know, no, unfortunately, this is not a time when I'm available? Are we saying, no, unfortunately, this is a toxic environment for me. I can't be a part of that. No, unfortunately, I'm not comfortable with that. Are we having those conversations that we really need to have peace in our life? So that's the question. But thank you for your beautiful message.
Thank you. You're more than welcome.
Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your evening, Tiffany. And if you have any other links or information you want to drop in the comments, like a direct link to the free coaching session for anyone that wants to join, you are more than welcome to share it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye. And I'm just realizing as I'm taking you off, Tiffany, I forgot to bring everybody on so we could have a big kumbaya before we started. But it's okay. We'll do it next time. We'll do it next time. Okay. And it looks like you got some feedback. So MJ said, I have gotten better with that. I will tell someone nope quickly. She said nope with all caps. Yes, I've gotten much better with that. I think uh it came by force. It wasn't like I just woke up and I was like, I want to be better with boundaries. No, I woke up to seeing people losing their life, seeing people going to deep places that I've never seen, like a person who's normally happy and cheery being a completely different person because life has drained them dry. Um, I see, I see the lack of self-preservation on people's faces, if that makes sense. Like I talked about this, and then we'll go ahead and move to our next interview. But there was someone I was talking about the importance of taking care of yourself first because you can't take care of anybody if you can't take care of yourself. And even though we feel like we're doing the right thing by taking care of the neighborhood and then coming home, the reality is that what we're doing is we're creating an environment where we've broken ourselves down so much to the point where we won't be able to give anymore. And all of those people who are relying on us or wanting that from us won't be able to receive it because you won't physically be able to give it. And I remember having this conversation and someone was saying, well, I give and I do this and I'll always give down to my last, whether I have it or not. And I didn't say this to them, but I can see it on their face. I can see it in their spirit. It's not in a positive way, in a way of, I can see that you are wearing yourself down to help other people because you think that you're helping them, but when you're hurting yourself, you're not helping other people or yourself. So that conversation definitely had to come a lot sooner for me. Once I started to see that real time in other people's lives and even the stress in my own life, I was like, no, we got to make a change and we got to do it quickly. All right. So great conversation, great interview as always. Tiffany, you're awesome. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. And hello, thank you for joining, Nicole. I appreciate you. Thank you for your feedback, Conitra. We appreciate you as well. Thank you. Sorry. Alimana or Alibaba. Thank you for joining. And yeah, same here. Nicole said I learned very quickly. She's an overgiver, so she learned very quickly. Okay, so our next professional that we are going to be interviewing this evening, let's pull up our notes because I left to share our live again. This professional is actually here to talk about using her testimony to help others heal. She's someone who's also a member of our directory, but she's extremely passionate about raising awareness for domestic abuse, domestic violence. And one of the messages that she constantly talks about is how abuse has no face. So you can't assume that someone is or is not an abuser. You really have to understand that anyone could be going through this. And instead of passing judgment, passing a lifeline, passing support, a listening ear. So I want to say I appreciate her, all that she does for our community. And let's go ahead and bring on Conitra. Hello. Oh, I can't hear you. Is it me?
Yes. Oh. Hi. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. How are you doing, Conitra?
I am well. Thank you. How are you? We're almost at Friday.
I know. It's been a very fast week. I don't know. Have you felt like that? Like it just zooms by?
Fast, and then it slows down like on Wednesday. You're like, what is going on?
And then it speeds back up. As soon as Friday hits, you got about 3 seconds and then the weekend's over.
Right.
Okay. So I'm so glad to have you on this evening, Conitra.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. If you would like to just formally introduce yourself for anyone that does not already know about your business or you.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. I am Conitra Cowans. I'm founder of Bougie Steps Boutique, also author of I Didn't Know This Is My Worth, and have 2 more books coming out. I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, plus 10 years now. So I am a fashion lover of shoes, a shoe lover. And I just want to share my story to empower others, just to let them know it's okay to reach out to someone. It's okay not to be okay, because we all have this image of it. We have to show that we're okay and have to show that everything is fine. Because I used to always have a saying that when someone asked me, "Oh, I'm fine," but really, really, I'm not. So it's okay not to be okay.
Okay, so I love that, and I think it's true too. We just live in this world where it's not always, it's kind of frowned upon to be honest. Like, a person asks you, "How are you?" And if you say, "Well, I'm actually doing terrible today," sometimes they're really not ready for that because we're just so used to people saying, "Oh, I'm good, I'm great," even when they're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny that you talked about that because we just published a post today about that, about Soft Girl Sunday. I was saying how I just want it to be a space where people don't have a guilt of oversharing when they're just being honest about how they're feeling. So
right, yeah.
But let's talk a little bit more about you. So you said you're using your platform or using your brand. Make sure I have the verbiage correct, though. I want to say it exactly how you listed it. You said you're using your testimony to help others heal. So talk to us about that.
Yes, I just wanted to let people know the importance of giving yourself permission to heal instead of hiding your past. For me, I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. At the age of 15, I was sexually abused by a family member. So I carried that for a while before anyone knew of that. And then I went into um, a dating relationship, and then a marriage, and it was abusive, domestic, narcissistic, physically and mentally. But I hid a lot of things. No one knew what was actually going on around me. Family knew little things, but not everything. So we stayed in Memphis some years, and then we moved to Texas. And I feel like Texas was the place for me to kind of get out of that relationship. Even though I moved away from family and friends, that person thought that they would bring me into a whole nother state and just leave my family and friends behind. And God had something else in store for me because I found friends that became my family and helped me get out of that relationship. So just giving myself permission to heal afterwards, because I always felt like, well, what if I would have did this? You know, what if I wouldn't have did this? Maybe this would have happened. But after I got out of that relationship, I healed on my own. I went to counseling, therapy, and I allowed myself to heal and to actually say I am a victim. Because if I was like, okay, I'm not a victim, I'm just dealing with this, I can heal, I can help him. Because we're always trying to help, say, as a female. I feel
Yeah,
like we're all trying to be that nurturer. We're all trying to help that person when that person has their own issues, their own demons that they are dealing with.
absolutely. You said a word. I mean, the importance of healing, but also the importance of acknowledging that we are two individuals and I don't know the best way to say this, but our healing journey, we can grow together. But as far as how we work, we have to do that individually. And if a person is not
Right.
willing or ready to receive that or do that work, that's just not your responsibility to push on or try to,
Mhm.
expedite it. Because the reality is that you always have that thought in your head of like, well, what if I try this? Or what if I do that? What if
Mhm.
I approach this way? What if I have a better attitude? What if I smile more? What if I dress up? Maybe we won't argue. Maybe we won't fight. But the reality is that when
Right.
you're dealing with somebody who is internally miserable, there's nothing that you could possibly do. There's
Exactly.
always going to be a problem.
Mhm.
And I relate to this because I told you about when I was, in a relationship or building a relationship with a person, and I started to notice everything that we did. There was always a complaint. Like we could be in traffic. Oh, I can't believe traffic. I hate traffic. I'm like, okay, that's sometimes people complain about traffic. Then we get out of traffic. The traffic's cleared up. Now you're complaining about the road's bumpy. I'm like, okay, the road's bumpy, I guess.
Right.
Now we get to the hotel. Oh, we gotta wait. Okay, that's normal. Then I started to think, you know what? Instead of justifying, your outburst or your weird moments of just complaining about stuff, I think that this is not normal for a person to find so much to be negative about. And once I transitioned into that, I stopped caring about trying to make things perfect or make things positive because I realized there was nothing I could do. If you said, oh, I hate traffic, and then traffic cleared up, you're still complaining about the next thing. If we get to the hotel and everything's perfect, you're still complaining about the dinner that you ate. If I get you a whole new dinner and drive to a different store and come back with a different meal, you're complaining about the spoon you ate it with. I mean, we just
Right. It goes on and on and on. It's
and on, and then you realize it's like, when they say sometimes you can't tell people, they just have to get tired of it themselves.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just sit and you go through the cycle and then you realize one day in the cycle it's never going to stop. So I'm either going to keep going with it or I'm going to get out of here.
Right.
One of the two.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely resonate with that. um, so let's talk a little bit more about your brand, how you have been able to use your platform, your brand, and your testimony to help support others in healing and domestic abuse awareness.
My brand is Bougie Steps Boutique, which it is a women's shoe boutique fashion. So I feel like fashion, for me, it helps me. kind of overcome some things that I went through. I love fashion. Um, I feel like it's the confidence. If you don't have that confidence, you go and look at some, for me, I can go look at some shoes and be like, if I'm having a rough day, I'm like, oh, these are, let me put that in my cart and go back to it. But it just, for me, I feel like the fashion and empowering women, even women and men, just to empower them, give them that confidence, because a lot of people don't have that confidence. I know for me, I lacked confidence when I was going through that. I had the confidence before, but something in between, I lost that confidence. I lost my self worth. So that I feel like fashion is a picker upper. I love it, and I feel like I can push that fashion. I did fashion show where it was for domestic violence, supporting domestic violence. Um, Sometimes people like Tiffany spoke on, like shelters. You have the shelters where the women, they leave with nothing. I was one of those. I left. I didn't want anything out of the marriage. I didn't want anything out of the home. I just wanted to get my things and my kids' things. So that, if I didn't have that extra help, I wouldn't have been able. I would have had to go to a shelter and go and need help for clothes and anything of that. But I was able to fortunately get with friends that are family now that took me in, took me and my children in, so we were able to stay there until I got up on my feet, which was a blessing.
Yeah, most definitely, because it is a scary thing. I mean, it's scary enough just being by yourself going through something like that and feeling alienated, but also having to feel alienated while also be responsible for, how your children are going to be taken care of and trained out of that. And especially depending on how, what's the word, how violent or how abusive the situation is. I mean, 'cause there's different types of abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. So transitioning out of that is a little bit harder when you have little ones to think about and consider how you're going to do it so that it doesn't affect them really bad. Um,
Right. Yes.
so yeah, and then we got a comment from AL Publishing Consulting, Nicole. She said we have to learn to give the necessary things to God and stop trying to help everyone. I've been there, and you can end up in the same cycle you are trying to save them from if you are not careful. Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. That's a word, Nicole. It's true, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, any environment that you go into, it's not to say that you will completely become that, but in many cases, it will influence you. So if you're someone who's normally positive and uplifting, you go into an environment where everybody's complaining, everybody's negative, everybody's catty, you're going to eventually become that, or you're going to eventually start to like it. It'll become normal for you, like Tiffany was saying before. So that's something that I've always been super sensitive about. It's like the energy that I entertain, how long I give myself access to certain things, places, environments, conversations, because we don't realize how contagious that is. We don't,
Right.
you know, just like you can get addicted to negativity, you can also be addicted to positivity. But where you choose to go and who you choose to be around will determine which one it's going to be. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um,
Right.
did you have any products that you wanted to show off tonight, or what you got over there?
I do not,
Oh,
but I
just no.
but I do want to let everyone know that new inventory is loaded on the website. Um, and then we have great sales and great promos. One of the sales that we have going on, the Bling with Shell, 2 free anklets, with a purchase of $65. And then we also have the sale that's going on with the $10 sandals, $20 heels, and boots are $30. And that's it. Well, and then we have our Soft Girl Sunday coming up. Yeah,
Are you excited?
I
I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait. You saw my singing video?
am. Yes, I was like,
I'm
okay,
prepping.
okay.
I'm mentally prepping, and then I got us some mics and everything. I was like, this is gonna be a good day. I cannot wait, and it's gonna be so much fun because every time we do a karaoke night, we always end up having somebody that I didn't expect to get on the mic and just blow me away. And last time that was you. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, outside of being an entrepreneur and a shoe boutique owner, Conitra is also a performer. In my mind, she's a singer, she's a rapper, she's whatever you need the event to be if you want to start booking with her, but she's also a motivational speaker too. So looking forward to it. Anyone that is unable to check it out, make sure that you go ahead and join us for our upcoming Soft Girl Sunday event. That's what she's talking about. It's on July 5th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Plano, Texas. And you can text us at 833-705-4352 if you would like to get a link for the tickets. It's free entry. You just have to register so we can kind of keep a okay head count for the cake. But it's called Cake, Karaoke, and Conversation. So we're going to have some songs, music, and some cake to celebrate my birthday and Kanitra's birthday. So yay! Happy early birthday to us, Cancer.
I'm a Leo.
Oh. My bad. Okay, we got another Leo. I forgot we have another Leo. Okay, I'm outnumbered. I won't say too much tonight, y'all. We'll leave that for another one. Tisha's in the background like this.
Leos.
We'll leave that conversation for another night. But we'll just say July babies. Congratulations to the July babies.
Yes, July babies, yeah.
That's fair. Compromise. And Brenda did leave with a message, so I'm going to share this, and then I want to ask you if you want to, leave a positive message for everybody. But she said, we as women have awareness of who we are and know our identity, and if we tend to become a part of people, if we tend to become a part of people who try to make us, or it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I think I might have read that a little incorrectly, but I think I understand the message, which is that we already know who we are internally in many situations and relationships when you go into it, and that's why you have that internal radar that tells you something might be off here. Yeah,
right.
I do agree with that part because I've experienced that where I was like, okay, this was cute in the beginning, but something is telling me I need to get up out of here.
Yeah. We always have that. For me, I think I didn't. I was hearing it, but then I was like, okay, no, you know what? We can work on it.
Yeah.
But it was the whole time it was there.
Yeah.
Ignoring those red flags.
And she is right too about the self-fulfilling prophecy. It can become who you become because you've allowed that to be a part of your life or your identity. But also when you're around people who beat up on you too much, start to think that what they're saying is true. And it goes back to, I don't know if anyone knows the name of this, what's it called? Look, I'm throwing out all these psychology principles and I don't have not one quote or works cited, but there was a study done. It was a psychology study. And they had people come out, regular citizens come out, and some of them pretended to be police officers and some of them pretended to be prisoners. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. This is an old study. But basically, in the process of having people come out and pretend to be these things for a certain amount of time, they found that at the end of the study, the people who pretended to be criminals, they were violent, they were depressed, they were acting like a criminal, and the people who were pretending to be police officers acted as if they were better than them. They were hostile, they would do things to kind of like chastise. So they took regular people off the street. They just put them in an environment and gave them a label for
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying with this, or where I'm going with this, is that when you are in environments where people are continuing to affirm who you are or your values, sorry, a little bit of echo. I think our a little off. I lose my train of thought. But echo, I think let me Okay, there we go. But yes, so what I was trying to say was you know, when you are in these environments where people are constantly telling you something, they're constantly telling you you're not worth anything, you'll never be successful. Eventually you start to feel like, you know what, I'll never be successful. I'm not worth anything. I don't deserve this. Maybe I shouldn't go for it. It's something that was proven in that study, but then we see it day to day, being in relationships, friendships, environments where people are constantly trying to make you feel like you should be a smaller version of yourself instead of encouraging you to be the biggest, you know, boldest, most confident, passionate version of yourself. So that's kind of you know, where I was going with that. And then oh, huh, MJ said that that correction when you said Leo. Yeah, I know. It was like she was trying to say something or something. I don't know. And then Tisha in the background doing all these dance moves and stuff. I'm like, you guys trying to say something? Uh And Nicole said Gemini over here. She said it's kind of like the movie Trading Places. So, Conitra, I want to end by asking you a question. And that is just what is one piece of advice that you would give to any woman or man that is trying to transition out of a domestically abusive relationship?
I want to give anybody that is going through that relationship situation to just seek help, counseling. You can speak to so many facilities and counselors that will speak to you on a personal one-on-one basis, and they won't even your information won't even be related to that person, and they can plan your strategy to get out of that situation. Um, just talk to someone because you never know when it could take a turn for the worst. You know, so many times you think that, okay, I'm gonna go in here and just say this, but that person may be not like rejection. Like it's
Yeah.
so many things and they react to something. So just go seek help, counselors, uh, close friends. I know sometimes we don't want to be judged, but think about you, think about yourself, think about your kids, and just seek that help.
That's great advice because we don't always think about what could happen or calculate what happens after I tell this person I don't want to be
Hmm.
friends. You know, if
Hmm.
you're financially dependent upon them or emotionally dependent upon them, there goes that. I think it's called stonewalling. Is that what it's called? When they just completely go cold on you because of the rejection or because they're silent treatment. Maybe that's the better verbiage. Um,
Hmm.
but thank you for sharing that. And MJ said
Thank you.
that you're welcome, or no, thank you. And then MJ said, I have to post my pictures with my sandals from Bougie Steps.
Hey, thank you,
Thank
MJ.
you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, thank you, Conitra. It has been a pleasure to have you on. And anyone that wants to shop with Conitra, you can visit her website. Um, and you can spend, if you spend $65 or more, you get 2 free anklets. You can go purchase your anklets from another verified business that is listed in our directory, Bling with Chef. So check her out, and her website is actually attached in the comments too. Thank you so much, Conitra. It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, that was another awesome interview as usual. So let's move on to our next entrepreneur this evening. I am super excited about these conversations. She happens to also be a Leo, so we'll go ahead and bring her on. This professional, I actually got the opportunity to meet her in person and have a conversation with her about the importance of taking care of yourself. And then we also had an interview. So if there's anything that I would say about the next person that I'm bringing on is that she's passionate about women remembering the importance of pouring into yourself, dressing up, doing those little things that help you to feel confident, like you are ready to take on your day. So let's go ahead and bring on and welcome Tisha. You know what? I'll never be successful. I'm not worth anything. I don't deserve this. Maybe I shouldn't go for it. Tisha? It's Hello? Something that was proven in that study. Tisha. But then we see I don't think she can hear me. I think something's going on with our audio. Let me see. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Um, what's going on? Hold on. Give me 1 second. So earlier today we had an issue with our audio. I think it just had something to do with our streamer, but we're gonna work through it because I think she can hear us. but maybe she can't, or I can hear and see her, but she can't hear us. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a moment, just a brief commercial break, and we're going to refresh our screen. Okay. I'm so sorry. I think she's just now hearing me now. So we're gonna refresh our screen and take a brief commercial break, and hopefully we're able to bring it back with no issues with the audio. So let's try this really quick. I'll let everybody take a moment to pause and look at one of the boutiques listed in our directory and tell me which handbag you like more with this outfit. All right. Can everybody give me a thumbs up? Give me an emoji in the comments if you can hear me okay. How are we doing with audio? Can everybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right? Is the audio okay? Hold on one second. Is audio okay? Everybody can hear me? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? Can I get a thumbs up? And okay, good. Thank you so much. Tisha, can you hear me okay? Let me see. I don't know if she can hear me all right. Can you hear me all right? And let's do this, guys, as we're taking a moment to pause just to see what's going on with our audio in the background. Everybody, please share in the comments one positive win that you have going on right now for your life, for your business, or for your relationships. And let's celebrate together. And in the meantime, let's try to figure out what's going on with our audio. Tisha, can you hear me? No?
I hear you.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's try one more thing. Where you get 2 free English. Hold on.
Let me see. I can't hear. Don't get in the camera.
Can you guys let me know in the feedback? Can you hear Tisha? Let me know in the comments. Is everybody able to hear them? Thank you for your feedback earlier, Nicole.
Pause.
Waterfall, Brenda, are y'all able to hear Tisha?
Oh, I can't.
Oh, okay. So everybody can hear her. She just can't hear me. Okay.
I cannot hear you.
Hold on a second.
Oh goodness.
We're gonna figure this out, guys. So this is what I'm gonna do.
Let me try to come back in.
He's gonna leave and then try to come back in. And I'm gonna go ahead and play a brief commercial. Oh wow. Actually, no, I'm gonna pin that at the top. Thank you, Nicole. So Nicole said Tuesday is the last day I take my chemo pill. I survived my 5 years. Congratulations, Nicole. The question that I asked everybody was to share one positive thing, one win in personal life or business. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Everybody, still feel free to drop your positive remarks in the comments. Let me know anything you want to share, any wins. Tisha.
I made it. Okay.
I'm so glad we were able to figure it out. I don't know what's going on either because I could hear you. Everybody else was able to hear you in the comments. So maybe it's something to do with my streamer. But I'm glad to have you on this evening.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday.
Yes.
And I'm excited to have a conversation or learn about what you plan on discussing, which is, I believe it is being open to change. So wait, oh, I'm sorry. Before you get into that, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. So I'm Tisha Sheperd. I'm the owner of She Styles Boutique in Dallas, Texas. It is an online boutique. You can find us on Instagram at she_styles_shop or on our website, www.shestyles.me. She Styles Me. So thank you.
Okay. So let me add, I'm going to add Tisha's website in the comments in just 1 second, everyone. And Tisha, now that you've introduced yourself, did you want to talk about being open to change?
Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on. That's her thing.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on a second. Let's try this. I think Tisha's having to rejoin us. Okay, what about now? Can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. So I was asking if you wanted to, thank you for your introduction, and I'm going to let everybody know about your business in the comments, but what were you wanting to talk about as far as being open to change?
Adapting to change. So being a boutique owner, we're in a social media driven marketplace, right? So, I had to become creative about how I meet my customers. With that being said, because of the economy that we're in, the shift in the economy, it was starting to be very challenging, right? But you have to keep going. So I actually took my boutique to the community, doing things as far as local pop-ups, networking events, even hosting events here at my place. Um, and hair salons. Let's talk about that. When I go get my hair done, I always bring merch with me. So now they know me when I come in. What do you have today? I literally bring a rack in with things. But what I love about that is that because I was open to change, I was able really to connect on a more authentic level versus them just seeing something online. How does that fit? What is the quality? So they could see that my product was quality that I was bringing out. If they want to try it on, at some of these locations, they're able to do that. I also come out because it's my brand. I'm wearing the product. I'm showing them, okay, this is how it looks, so that has helped me sustain my business because, social media, we tend to measure about the amount of followers that you have. If your brand is successful, the relevance of your brand. But I
Yeah.
would say I feel my brand is very relevant because I have actually been able to connect with my customers. When things come in, I know what this particular customer may want. I will send them a text message with new stuff. Hey, this just came in. And I have had people say, okay, send me an invoice right now, or just sending out emails, but, doing things where I'm building genuine relationships. If I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been open to change, I think I could have failed at this. I wouldn't have kept doing this because it is so such a saturated market.
Yeah.
Owning a boutique, right? And we all have something different to bring. Every customer is not my customer, right? So that's when I say open to change, to grow and build and stay relevant. It's been almost 2 years and it's been amazing. There's highs and there's lows, right? But I keep recreating, reinventing myself. I should say, okay, let me see what I can do next. How can I relate So that's just what I want to talk about with the small business owners, because I think sometimes we say, you know what, we're giving up on this. We're gonna quit. We're gonna stop. Keep pushing. Um, I noticed that, you may have all the followers. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily buying anything, that they're
Yeah,
following you. They're checking you out, right?
yeah,
But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I think for me, I know I should say that the connection with someone reaching out to me if they see something, because now they know, oh, I can send her a message. Hey, I saw you post this. Or sometimes I walk in the salon and I'm going in there to get my hair done, and they go, "Oh, she's the one with the boutique." And they go, "Okay, what do you have today?" And so I literally had to start bringing stuff, because if they saw you, KeTohn, wearing, or someone, you said, "Oh, well, she has that," they want it right then and there. And that's also helped me, even if I don't have the product, they'll order right then and I'll ship it to them.
yeah, yeah. I'm hearing two things that come to my mind when you're talking about this. The first thing is innovation. So, finding a way to be creative with what adversity we have in front of us, and not looking at it as a, this is the reason why I have to close, but more so as a, this is the obstacle that I'm going to overcome. And
Mm-hmm.
how am I going to do it? How am I going to shift with, like you said, the economy, the obstacles that might be out there in my industry specifically, because we have had a lot of different economy based challenges in
Oh,
these past
yes.
couple of, gas, and then even before the gas and these prices and stuff, we had COVID, and that was a huge shift for people that had businesses, because especially product based businesses, because now you're shipping
Mm-hmm.
out. It's not just about shipping out the products, it's about okay, if I ship it out, I have to make sure I'm good, my team is good. If the person that's shipping it back is sick, I have to let the product sit for 17 days, because that's how long it takes. I mean, there's just so much that we had to become
Right.
like what's the word, we had to become hazard people as entrepreneurs during COVID. So, you kind of put on, like they say, you wear many hats. It does happen that way sometimes. But then another thing that you said, which was the importance of being available when your clients are ready to shop. I think that that's a huge, huge thing. Sometimes people think that it's a matter of, do people want to spend money with me? When in reality, it's a matter of, am I ready? Am I ready when they're ready? That's the question.
Exactly. So for instance, I was seeing, last year, impulse buys, right? We all, I
Mhm.
mean, I can be an impulse shopper too. Impulse buys. People are really having to think, do I really need that dress, or do I need to get food and gas?
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna shop for this if I have an event coming up, right? So
Yeah.
for me, I stay relevant. I still, reach out. I still send email blasts. They see me. But I know that they'll come back to She Styles. They'll say, okay, I remembered her. I liked how, we collaborated together, or how she made me feel warm and fuzzy. And it's funny because I did a pop-up last weekend, and I was over at the Shops of Redbird, for people that are from Dallas. That is an old mall that they've turned into a lot of things. But it was Juneteenth weekend, and it was 100 plus vendors. But what was interesting, I'm sitting there at my boutique, and I'm seeing people that know me from the hair salon, that I only go there maybe because I'm wearing braids. I go there maybe every couple months, and they're looking for me because they saw that I was going to be there, and they brought several family members, and they said, "You know what? We shop with her all the time." Or they're like, "Okay, what do you have today?" And so that warmed my heart for them to bring, a sister, a friend. I had
Yeah.
one person even bring a mom, right? And so that is the reward for me. There, like I said, there's going to be the ups and downs. Sales are going to be great, sales are going to be slow,
Yeah.
but people come back, right? So
Yeah.
you get rewarded in other ways. So I have to always tell myself, you know what, don't get down on that. Be able to adapt to change, be open to changing your strategy on how you do things. So
Yeah.
that's really my message for everybody, don't give up, keep pushing.
It's a great message. I think that being able to adapt part huge for entrepreneurs, because there's going to be moments where you feel like you've hit a wall, and if you don't push through it, you miss out on the clients that you could have had you continue to stay open. And then there's another piece to this as well that I think your brand also focuses on, which is creating products or services that are timeless, or that provide a high level of value, so that people aren't necessarily just feeling like, oh well, I got to shop here if it's at this price, because they know that when they purchase, it's something that they're going to be able to use for a long time. It's
That's right.
valuable. It's what's the word? It gives you a good feeling, like you said, it makes an impact. And so as
Mhm.
service providers and as product providers, depending on what industry you're in, when you focus on that value over just the price point or over, we have this going on or that going on, you start to notice that people are really excited to come back to you, and they will, like you said, they will come back because it's not
Mhm.
just about shopping with a business, because they could have shopped,
Right.
they could have gone anywhere. There's a lot of brands out here that do what we do, but to have something valuable, impactful, that makes a person feel like I want to come back and do it here with you, that's what's going to set you apart in entrepreneurship. So I love the fact that you mentioned that. And Brenda said, God is giving me more opportunities to share my story and giving me the confidence to walk through doors, along with more accessories that are relatable to my story about mental illness. Oh, that was her win. I asked everybody to share their win. So
Okay.
congratulations, Brenda. And then she
Congrats.
also said to you, great message, and never compare your business progress with others. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. And that is perfect, Brenda, because I will tell
Yeah.
you that is the hardest thing to do, right? So my customer, may not be the next friend's customer, and that's fine. I never compete with other brands. I think we all serve a purpose. There's enough
Yeah.
for everybody, that's your customer. This person may be my particular customer. I'm always friendly, talking to other brands. If they ask me questions, I engage. Okay, if I can mentor them, they can mentor me, right? Even this weekend, I was talking to one of the earring girls and Maid here in Dallas, and we're talking about her product and how it's grown. And she's like, let me know whatever you need for e-commerce, but these are the relationships I'm talking about, right? You're building relationships, and she has been my customer and I've been her customer. So that's the importance of it. You can get trapped and lost in like, oh, well, my brand doesn't compare to this person. It's not. I would say my brand is probably more of a working professional woman. It's edgy. I have edgy things. So you can take my brand from day to the evening, whether
Oh,
that's a cocktail
absolutely.
or event, right?
Uh-huh.
Vacation wear.
So
So,
from the day
it's
to the night.
yeah, yeah. So I try to have a lot of fun with the fashion, and I want the pieces to be timeless, but you can use it again. Hey, maybe today these pants I'm wearing, I have on a tank with it, but I can throw on a blazer with it if I have to wear them to work or to an event. So, yes.
Yeah. Two very big gems. Yours, you said something earlier that I wanted to touch on. Oh, the followers thing, huge one. And it goes back to that comparison thing. Sometimes people do equate success, popularity, capabilities to how much followers a person has, or how trending a person is. But it's very true that a person can have thousands and thousands of followers. I had someone who was up there past 100,000 followers coming to me asking for insight and advice because they hadn't had any clients, none, zero.
Wow.
And then I had people who have 50 followers, 100 followers, who have also been my clients, and they are gaining and growing their sales. So that right there was a perfect real-time example of how a person who has 50 to 100 followers, not very active on Instagram or on this platform, gaining clients, growing $1,000 sales plus, versus a person that has over 100,000 followers saying, hey,
Mhm.
I haven't been able to land anything, or I haven't been able to make sales since X, Y, and Z. So it's
Mhm.
very true. We can't look at those external things as factors to whether or not our brand is productive. And then it kind of ties back into what Brenda was talking about as well. There's productive comparisons, and then there's non-productive. The productive comparisons could be something like, okay, let me see what's trending in our market right now. What are conversations
Mhm.
people are having in the fashion industry or in the business industry? What are things that people are attracted towards? What kind of content moves me, and how can I use that to inspire what I create? Those are productive comparisons, versus, this person has X amount of followers, so maybe I need to be like them. That's not necessarily productive, because like you said, your brand is not going to be like the next brand. And that could be the very thing that's hurting you, trying to be like the next.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah,
just something, food for thought for anybody out there who's thinking about growing their own brand. But
that's
okay,
right.
so let's move into these products. Oh, and I also want to just looking for a brand. That's it, research purposes. But
Uh-huh.
I wanted to shout out these beautiful earrings that I got from her boutique. She styles. They are so pretty. And I'm wearing them
Thank
with my
you.
pearl bracelet from Innovative Treasures. And I have on like a pearl. It's a dress. It's a pearl dress from Kisses by Monique. But
Cute.
yes, thank you. I just love this. It's so sparkly and just
You're
sometimes I
welcome.
catch myself doing this. It's for the lighting.
They're definitely a statement, right? They're definitely a statement.
Just so you can see it. That's all. So if I just randomly do that, that's why.
Yeah, I love
But
it.
let's talk about your products. What do you have for us this evening?
Okay, so today I'm gonna get up out of my seat for you all and move my chair out of the way. So a couple of things I have for you all. If you want to focus in on what I am wearing, KeTohn, you can let me bring my screen down a little bit.
Okay.
So if you can see these, I am wearing, these are called our harem pants.
Uh-huh.
They're very fun. You have a gold detail here.
They're
You
vibrant.
know, yeah, vibrant elastic waist. These come in red and black. I've just recently sold out the red this weekend, Juneteenth weekend. So we are actually carrying them in black now. So these are very fun. And these are something that you can do, as I told you all, with a crop blazer, if you're wearing to work, church, brunch, whatever you want to do, right? You want to be very versatile, but you also, it's a pair of statement pants and they look good. I don't care what size you are. I am normally a size 8 to 10 in pants. These are medium. I still have a little room, but I prefer a little bit of medium, right? Because a little more tush. But so these are what I have today for you. And then I have models for you today. So I want to show you some new things. So my first one, I'm gonna move out the way. You'll hear me talking. This is our green light jumpsuit. You can step back. This is my daughter Channing, my model today, my graduate.
Let me hit you with an applause.
And you will see this jumpsuit actually has pockets. I love it. If she can stretch her arm out a little bit, it zips in the back.
That is pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And she's rocking like just a brown basic shoe with some brown jewelry and a little bit of accessories. But this is very fun. This would be a great dinner outfit. So that's the first one. Thank you, Channing. And then my next one, the color's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And then my next one is Tegan, my older daughter.
Ooh.
And she's rocking the Soft Life linen outfit. This is great for vacation, right?
Yes.
She has the tote bag with the straw bag on it. It's linen. The top is actually peplum, so it lets out. So for some of the ladies that say, you know what, I have a little bit of stomach or a little bit of waist I don't want to show, this actually covers that. And the shorts has pleating in them. So this is a great set.
I love that handbag with it too. Okay, model, work it. Work it.
Thank you, girls. So those are some of the products that we wanted to show you all today. I'm definitely, thank you for having me today. Yeah, so this is great.
Absolutely. I love that green. It was bold. And I mean, I see that on your website though. You really do like to play with color. And provide that depth. And then also I love your textures that you choose for your outfits. Like there's one mesh, I think it's either a top or a dress, but it's mesh and it has like feathers or like something soft at the bottom.
It's fun. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I do have a link. Thank you for asking, Waterfall. So I'll drop this in the comments. It is shestyles.me. And let me pin it to the top so that everybody can see it as well. Hello. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you, Carol. Here is her website link. So it's shestyles.me. And Tisha's brand is also listed on our website at bossbayblog.com because she is a member of our directory. So she's right at the top. If you guys click on the fashion link, you'll see her brand there. But that's her website link. But yes, I'm looking at all those items that you have on your website that have that fun texture and color for my birthday occasion. So in my mind, I'm doing the math of what, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting some things together.
So my thought is, women always say, oh, I don't need that. I'm waiting for the occasion. You don't need to wait for the occasion. You need to be the moment. We'll be waiting and it'll never get here. So where someone says, why are you dressed up? I'm not dressed up. I feel beautiful. I feel pretty. And I'm always going to tell women, do you own it? Walk in that room. You don't have to say anything. It speaks for you, your style, right? So that's what I love about helping women. So yeah.
That's true. And that's a great quote. We do need to be that moment versus waiting to celebrate ourselves, dress up, feel cute. Yeah, I had those conversations growing up because I love to dress up. And I would go to school sometimes and they'll be like, why are you dressed up? Why are you wearing this? I'm like, because I just love my life. Can I just...
Because I'm cute and I love it. I want to be pretty today. That's right.
So, I love that. I think that you left with a really great quote, but is there any last motivational message that you would like to leave with someone over the weekend?
I would just say keep pushing everyone. Small business, it has been a challenge, there are a lot of late nights, especially when you're a corporate professional too, right? So I do corporate and then, my
Imagine.
nights are long and even my weekends, but keep pushing, if you have a moment you get down, just, get a mentor, that has helped me a lot, hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Or someone, reaching out to me and I'm like, sure, I can answer a question. So I'll just say keep going forward and everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
Tisha. We appreciate you for joining and also just continuing to be that reminder for women to take care of themselves and pamper themselves. So
That's
thank you.
right. Thank
Talk
you.
to
Bye,
you soon.
everybody.
All right. Good night. Good night,
Good
Leo.
night.
All right. So that was another awesome interview with an amazing professional who focuses on women's confidence. So anyone that wants to shop with her, I did pin her website to the link up here, but I'll just do it one more time. And then I'll also share it on both chats for anybody that wants to check her out. And actually, give me one moment. I should be able to pull it up for y'all. So it is shestyles.me. And let me just drop that in the comments real quick. And there was a couple things that I wanted to share about her brand. There's a few things in the works we have going on, some blog interviews that we'll be publishing. So you will get to learn all about Tisha and why she does what she does. You'll also be able to learn more about her brand through some of the interviews that we've had at Soft Girl Sunday, but we plan to do some more. She's a vendor at our upcoming Soft Girl Sunday events. One of them specifically is dedicated to embracing your quote unquote wild side. So we'll be wearing black, red, maroon, and animal print colors. The music is going to be kind of like a 90s house music slash R&B and hip hop from like 90s and a little bit of 80s, not too much. But that's going to be in September for our Soft Girl Sunday. So you can look forward to her being a vendor for that one as well. And did I get that link in there properly? Yes, I did. So there you go. And I'll drop one in the private chat too. Okay, thank you for asking. So, yes, I am so excited about the animal print. I can't wait. That song that was on the flyer, Pump Up the Gym, that's going to be playing. That's going to be like one of our first intro songs. But I'm super excited. Just can't wait to see how the ladies have fun and dress up and get vibrant for that upcoming event. We have another wonderful professional that will be joining us. This is her first time being interviewed on the Boss Babe Business Show. So if you could please just show her some love and welcome on this professional. She is here to talk about breaking the silence on mental illness. And I'm excited about this conversation because we've talked a little bit about mental illness, but this specific one, I don't think we've touched on in a moment. So I'm excited to bring her on. So let's go ahead and have Brenda join us. Hello, Brenda.
Evening, and thank you. I'm doing well, thank you. And thank you for having me on and giving me the opportunity to share my story and my book business.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to have you, and I love the contributions that you've given to the conversations. I really do appreciate them. So thank you. Likewise. And let's go ahead and make sure we can see. Oh, hold on. Take these comments off. There we go. So you guys can see Brenda's name. I'm going to pull up her website and information for you. But Brenda, before we get started on your topic tonight, did you want to just introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are?
Yes, I'm Brenda Moore, and I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a former school teacher for 25 years. Yes, and I am the author of Walking in the Shadow of a Schizophrenic, Power of Forgiveness, which is a first-person account, autobiography, memoir, mental health account about the unawareness of marrying someone with a mental illness and the challenges that come with addiction. And when I started out, the book was supposed to be just a memoir, but I thought about it a little bit because I wanted the reason why I started out with an autobiography is because I wanted people to know a little bit about me, a little bit about my background, because sometimes the things, especially when your childhood is unstable are dysfunctional, sometimes you end up making certain mistakes, certain decisions, especially when it comes to relationships. And so, I also kind of, I don't know if the right word is, credited myself that maybe some of my mistakes in my relationships, which was the two, is maybe the reason why. It's because of the dysfunctionality in my family.
Yeah. That's a really great level of self-awareness and consideration. I've been there as well, like thinking about how did the way that I experienced things as a child affect me as an adult. And I think the beautiful thing about it, sometimes people are scared to ask that question because they're scared of, judging themselves. But the reality is that when you ask yourself that question, you can now be aware of how you can elevate and how you can have better relationships because of what you have experienced. So that's a very profound way of thinking and considering. So thank you for your introduction. I did drop your website. Did you want to talk to us a little bit more about this topic of breaking the silence?
I really want to jump around it so much, but I had just came out of an 8-year marriage, and I referred to it in the book as a marriage of hell. There was a lot of emotional and physical abuse. And one major thing that I learned, I was very young at the time too, is that just because you have children by a man doesn't mean he makes a good husband or a good father. So that was a hard part. But anyway, getting to being married to into mental illness, I actually met my second husband at a Bible college, and we had so much in common. We were engaged for an entire year, and I know this may sound kind of crazy, but I have to say that because I feel like it's important, and one of the reasons why I thought that he was my soulmate. We did so many different things together. And of course, I had 2 children, which by my previous marriage. We were engaged for a whole year without even having sex. There was no physical part of our relationship. We just had a wonderful time. And then for me to find a man that honored my values, and first of all, honored God too, that was a plus for me. And so anyway, after we got married, and I'm going to, if you permit me, read just a little bit out of my book.
Absolutely.
I can't remember everything, but 3 months into the marriage is when I actually realized that I was married to somebody with a chronic illness. And I know people have said to me, how could that be? And I even questioned myself, did I see the red flags or did I ignore them? Or kind of crucified myself with that. How could I have made such a mistake? But anyway, 3 months into the marriage, it transpired.
Wait, and Brenda, I have a question. So,
okay.
You said, I want to make sure we're on the same. Is this the same person who also honored your values? They were respectful of your values for a whole year. That was that person. And then you got into the marriage, and then 3 months into the marriage, you realized that you were with someone that was going through or had schizophrenia.
Exactly. And chronic schizophrenia, which means long term.
Okay. Wow.
Anyway, I kind of label my marriage as going from spring showers to a tsunami, because that's just basically how it was. 3 months into the marriage, Dallas detached himself. He had a low tolerance for immediate and church families and for people in general. He was estranged, unapproachable, and very territorial. Illogical judgment and bizarre personalities manifested daily. Agitation, anger, blaming, hallucinations, and intrusive thoughts became the norm. His resounding voice echoed off the walls and made it unbearable to remain in his company. Constant rumination gripped his mind. For instance, although he had never been into active combat, he often suffered flashbacks as if he had been in a war zone. He conjured powerful war gods and protective goddesses such as Max Killebrew and Amun Ra, each with its descriptive functionality. To amuse myself, I asked, why didn't you give the woman God any power? And he blatantly said she would have tried to take control of everything. On some days, he led catatonics for hours. The book provides examples of the various inactions from day to day. I didn't know who I would wake up to. So that's just some. Yeah. And then he was an immaculate dresser, loved suits. But he went from that from there to poor hygiene. In fact, he would wear clothes for over a month and not take showers, so you can imagine the smell. But anyway, so he came to me one day and he said to me, I made a mistake. And of course, I was crushed. I actually checked into a hotel, cried myself through the night, and asked myself, how could this happen? Lord, is this the same man that I married? And then, reality set in. I really had married somebody with a chronic illness. So I was reflecting one day, sitting on the couch about our relationship, and the Holy Spirit said, go upstairs and look in the black bag. And of course, sometimes you just don't feel like it. But I drug myself upstairs, and long story short, I looked in this black army bag. And there's when I found these discharge papers from the United States Army, which said that he had a chronic, he was diagnosed as chronic paranoid schizophrenic. And he had already been back in Louisville and was a patient of the VA hospital, of which I didn't know.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And
in that moment, like in that moment, you're opening these papers, you realize that the person that you have been with has been diagnosed with this. And what do you do?
Actually, of course, I was devastated. I heard of the term schizophrenic, but had no idea of what that medical term really was and all it entailed. But I put the papers to my chest and I said, God, help me to help him. Don't ask me why I said that, but only thing I can tell people is that if you truly love somebody, you don't retreat at the first sign of trouble. And so God honored that, because I don't know if anybody remembers the Phil Donahue show. You probably too young to remember that.
It sounds familiar, but I can't think of the image pops up though.
But anyway, a lot of the talk shows that I looked at were all of a sudden talking about mental illness and schizophrenia. Even had families on there that were going through the same ordeal, and they even had a diagram of a schizophrenic brain to let you know how it functioned and how it looked. So my thing is that I saw God educating me about Dallas, which is my husband's name. He was actually educating me to be able to know what I was dealing with, and the education even gave me a little bit more confidence in myself that I could deal with this. For how long, I didn't know, but those were my thoughts, at the time. And so, we went to counseling sessions together, and there were times he wouldn't go, but I went anyway because I still needed the counseling, still needed to learn about him, and still needed to take care of me as well. The two girls were 5 and 9 at the time. And many times we need to understand as adults that whatever we go through and whatever decisions we make affect our children as well. And so you can't overlook them in the process. You can't overlook the pain that they're going through in the process as well. And I even talk a little bit in the book about the incest. And, I'm not going to go into it anymore because I would love for people to purchase the book. The incest and things that went on, but I don't know. I just thank God that I knew who I was that I had some self-awareness, and the main thing, I knew God. Otherwise, I don't believe I would have came out the same, because at the time I was actually a school teacher. I had I was taking care of my sister's 2 children from babies and raising them as teenagers. And then I had my son's 3 children, which were 4, 2, and 9 months. And, and involved in church work, but still dealing with this chronic illness every day. And I know if it had not been for God and me being aware of who I am and my identity, and I also had a life of my own before I married him. In other words, I was busy and acting. So I didn't stop those things, even though I was embarrassed. I was hurt, ashamed at times. I felt like I felt very alone a lot of times, because family or church family, not everybody understood. And of course, you had to deal with the whispering and the blaming, that you're the one that's the reason for the marriage breakup, and you just have to go through all those things. So that's part of the story. That's just a portion of it, and I'm just thankful that the Holy Spirit came to me one day and said, "Why don't you write your life story?" And it took me 15 years to do it, because I felt like I had to adjust to, I didn't want to put my children out there and hurt them any more than they had been hurt. To go through some adjustments as far as myself. Do I want to put myself out there? Do I want to listen to people's criticisms or their perspective of what I was writing? And so God, I say this, I know for a fact that Walking in the Shadow of Schizophrenic is a divine assignment, because it took 15 years to write it. And many times I said, Lord, why am I writing this? I don't even have the money to publish this book. But the more, I don't want to say negative, but the more I doubted, the more I kept writing. I would get up in the wee hours of the night or early in the morning and just kept writing until it was completed. So I know it was a God assignment. And then after publishing the book, it's like the Holy Spirit said, you need to do more than write. You need to tell your story. And so from there, I just wait till you ask me. That's when I was connected to my current responsibility of what I'm actually doing now, and I'll let you know that when you want me to.
Absolutely. First off, I just want to say it's really beautiful that you were able to, even though there were a lot of parts of that story that are negative or negative experiences, you were able to still focus on yourself and your own growth. And then what you said, it kind of goes back to what Tiffany was saying, which was having an identity outside of your relationship, so that you're not looking to that person as the answer to everything. Because if you were, that would have been, you wouldn't have had any option. You wouldn't have felt like I have the options to continue to be myself or do what I like to do for myself. So I think that anything, I want to reiterate that message for any women or men that are going through a relationship, to make sure you stay true in your own identity and don't feel like you have to lean on another person to be whole. But yes, I would love to hear what you do.
I want to say too, if you are going through something traumatic, you can't let it define you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's something that I say to my clients often, excuse me, and it is, what you've been through is not your identity. It's a part of your story. And I say that because oftentimes we forget that things that we have gone through is just a very small part of our story, and it has nothing to do with our character or our integrity and who we are. It may contribute in some cases, it may test, and it may emphasize what our character or our integrity is, but it is not absolutely, our identity is not engulfed in the trauma that we have been through. So I absolutely agree with you on that. So please talk to me a little bit more about what you do now.
Okay. Currently, I'm a volunteer for NAMI, which is National Alliance on Mental Illness, and also I'm an ambassador for NAMI Sharing Hope, which is helping to destigmatize myths and low-level trust for mental health care institutions in the Black African ancestry community. I'm involved in two entities that promote open conversation and bring awareness about mental illness. And that's is my passion because I felt alone. I felt misunderstood. And I felt like when I wrote the book, you know, the more I feel free. And the more you talk about it, the more free you become. And then too, it's part of your healing when you're able to share with somebody else what you've been through and what your story is.
Yeah.
I've already said that. First, as an ambassador for Sharing Hope, I have to lead and engage people in discussions about mental health in the family and communal, using the following 3 videos: youth and mental wellness. How do I heal? Community leaders and mental wellness, the art of healing. Black families and mental wellness, smile while on our journey. And after each video, then that's when I have questions that I ask the audience to get the discussion going, and you'd be surprised at people. You can even see the demeanor on their face that they want to share, they're anxious to share. And in that moment, they feel comfortable and mainly know, okay, you're not alone in this struggle. There are a lot of other people that are going through the same thing. And when you feel like that you're not alone, that makes it a little bit more easier as well. Secondly, mental health is prevalent in families and in our community and in our society. And I believe that people want to hear from individuals and families that have experienced mental illness. I mean, you can go through to counselors and mental health clinicians, and that's great. We need them, but I still think it's a great impact on people when they can hear from people who have already been through what they're going through.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. And so what I do, I encourage open conversation through a presentation titled Break the Silence and Book Vendor Accessories by using my personal story and experience with mental illness. My target audiences are groups such as mental health support and therapy groups, colleges, churches, workforce, Metro CIT, which is crisis intervention team, etc. So the Lord has already blessed me to be able to go out and talk with some of these groups that I've named, but that's my ultimate goal, is to continue to share my book in that way. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Thread, and WhatsApp. And of course, you've already given them my
Website.
web. And my email is Brenda Lee Moore 1955 at gmail.com. And of course, you can purchase the book. And as I said, there are a lot of other enactments in there to help you to understand what me and my children went through, and how important it is to have knowledge of the illness and know the triggers, and it's just so many other things to be able to help you to survive or cope through it. The book is you can purchase at Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble, Nook.
Okay. Well, congratulations on publishing your book, but most importantly, congratulations on turning something that you went through into a resource for other people so that they can know how to cope, but have the conversations that we need to have so that it's a common conversation and it's not something that's taboo that we don't know anything about because we haven't been having these discussions. So I want to first just say thank you for that. And I just want to ask you if there was one message that you would like to leave with the audience to think about over the weekend, what would that be?
That we need to evaluate and examine our mental health, just like we go to the doctor when we feel like there's indication of something wrong physically. We need to do that when it comes to our mental health. And it's like, I use this illustration. It's like going to a dentist. I don't wait until my teeth rot out or in pain before I go to the dentist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take care of the situation right then. And that's what we need to do with our mental health. And there's some shirts that I've been selling, and I want to put, these are two slogans that came from my mind. One is, my mind is a masterpiece. God said it. And the other is, my mind matters. And so those are two strong logos that we need to realize. God gave us this mind, and we only have one. So it's so important to take care of it, even though life happens and none of us know when we may lose it or may have a physical disability like dementia or whatever that alters the mind. We never know that, but as much as you can, we need to protect it and go to the psychiatrist. There's nothing wrong with it. The problem is when you know there's something wrong and you won't go.
Yeah. That's a really great statement, especially that part about, when you have a toothache, you don't wait for your teeth to completely rot to then decide to go to the doctor. So
Yeah.
great statement. I love that, Brenda. I want to say thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure to learn about you and your story. And I hope that we get to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Bye-bye.
So I did drop Brenda's website in the comments. It's pinned to the top. It is www.wisos-pof.com. Check her out. That was a very huge story. I mean, to talk about learning that a person that you were with, finding out that they have schizophrenia, someone that you've known for all this time, but now 3 months into marriage, you're realizing that they have a mental illness. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. So Nicole said, thank you so much for sharing your story, Brenda. It's a really big thing. That's a huge thing. So, and it almost makes you wonder, what would you do in that situation? There are situations where you marry people and you realize that things about them are different, but what would you do in a situation where you've married someone and you now realize that they have a mental illness? How do you navigate through that? So maybe by reading her book, you'll learn about that. The next entrepreneur that we're going to be interviewing this evening happens to be a professional who is also an author and is sharing a story. But tonight we're going to talk about her books and her future endeavors, and we're going to learn a little bit more about this professional. So her name is Waterfall. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. And anyone who has questions about, her book, just let us know. Can you hear me okay, Waterfall? Are we good to go? Sometimes the audio isn't the best. Hold on, guys. We're having a little bit of issue with the audio tonight. So let's do this too. While we're waiting, everyone, I want to just celebrate and shout out any positive wins that we want to share about our business or our life. And I would like to take a moment to, ready? Okay, perfect. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you on the screen. So whenever you're ready, just go ahead and prop up to the camera and we'll get started. And then also I want to shout out a couple of wins that we already discussed and celebrate. So we have Brenda, who said she's getting more opportunities to share her story. She's getting that confidence to walk through those doors. And she's able to discuss this topic in conversation about mental illness. And then the other one that we had from Nicole, which was about her making it to her 5 years now that she's officially finished her chemo pills. So congratulations, Nicole. Let me go ahead and bring on Waterfall, and then we'll go ahead and get started with this next interview. Hello. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good. I can't see you, but I can't see anything. The screen's black. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys can see her. You may have to refresh and hop back in like Tisha did. That might be what you have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, try that out for me. Thank you. She's going to come back, guys. And while she comes back, I'm just going to take me a little bite of my sandwich. Mm. Because I am absolutely famished. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Hello, hello.
Hello. How
Okay, I
are
can
you?
see you now, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Let me
Can you hear
take the
me?
earbuds
Thumbs
out.
up if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, I just can't hear you. Let me check something out. It might be our streamer tonight. Hold on 1 second. Okay, what about now?
I can hear you.
Okay, no, I can't hear you.
What?
Let's try, can we try refreshing one more time and see if that works?
Okay.
3 times a charm? Okay, she's gonna refresh her screen again, guys. I think something's going on with our streamer this evening, but we're gonna do our best to work through our technical difficulties. Oh, you hear her? Okay. Okay. So that's good to know. So then maybe it's something that has to do on my end with my streamer. I'm not sure what that would be, but let's try it again. Thank you for your feedback, Lacole. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, good. So Lacole says she could hear you. So I think it just has something to do with my streamer. But all right, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, welcome to the show, Waterfall. How are you doing tonight?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to hear about you and your story. So before we get into your topic of the night, which is your books and your endeavors, if you could just introduce yourself to everybody and let them know a little bit about you.
Well, my pen and stage name is Waterfall Adams. I
Okay.
was born in Paducah, Kentucky. I am based in Mobile, Alabama, and I grew up there. I have I grew up with my parents until they divorced. I have an older sister. We're both 2 years and 10 days apart. As what the host mentioned, I am a self-published author. And here's one of my books, as you can see, which will find on Amazon and other outlets. And if they're not on there, I'll try to get them on there. And also, I have a second book called Free to Be Thee. Next year will mark its 5th anniversary. Like this one, this year marks its 5th anniversary. And I'm also working on more books and other creative endeavors. Like my third book, I'm trying to find like a editor and kind of polish up things. It's called Make Money While Sitting on Your A, United States of America, dollar sign, a no nonsense guide to getting paid. There's some
Okay, that's
different
awesome.
factors have inspired that book, which is the 2020 pandemic, my own experience trying to find a job. That's one of the experience. Like for example, when I was like 19 years old, it was that age marks in the state of Alabama the age of majority, which means my dad stopped paying child support. I was in community college at the time, and I gotta find a job.
Mm.
I'm a millennial, which the job market and how to get a job is not
Right.
like what it is today. Even though
Yeah.
social media was getting started back then, I remember I did put in job like this would around this time like you actually go inside the business and you fill out a job application on a
Mm-hmm.
piece of paper. For those who don't know what a piece of paper is, it's something that's inside of this. And also, but I didn't get an interview. And also, I tried a long time trying to find a job until when I was in University of South Alabama, where I got my degree in art history from minor in dramatic arts.
Mm-hmm.
I started selling Avon, like my first paying gig. Even though I do have volunteering experience, I remember I've been volunteering since high school.
Mhm.
Like when I was in the African Americans club at the time when I was in high school, I do have volunteering experience, but didn't really have paying job experience. If you catch my drift,
Mhm.
especially the job market also it could be rough, especially for people who are like neurodivergent like me. In fact,
Mhm.
there's a statistic like 85% of autistic adults, they're either unemployed or underemployed. That
Mhm.
was just higher than every time there's black employment in this United States of America.
So Waterfall, I have a question for
Go ahead.
people that don't know anything about neurodivergent. Can you explain a little bit what that means?
Well, it describes people who have ADHD, um, autism, and Asperger's, I think. One of those, and a big anxiety disorder. One of my, the other disorder I have is like generalized anxiety disorder. I didn't find this out until I was an adult,
Mhm.
and also some type of some type of major, some type of depressive disorders like mild recurrent or something. Those two
Okay.
things I didn't find out until I was an adult. Those two things. I thought I had ADHD as a little child, a hyperactive child.
Mm,
Also, I
that
remember
makes two.
and I also remember I probably like in high school when I was learning how to drive. It's like I get like really freaking nervous or something like, oh crap.
Mm,
Like I probably had it back then. I just didn't know.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that. So basically, the statistics that you were sharing was that for someone who is neurodivergent and maybe falling under those categories, it's going to be very hard for them, or a lot harder for them to be able to land those jobs.
And also, when I was at South, I took a class called the Job Campaign. It teaches people how to get jobs.
Hmm.
But when I graduated and trying to find a job in the traditional sense, it is not like what I was taught at all. Okay.
Hmm.
Like for example, I was taught that like you gotta have like your resume in this certain type of special paper or whatever.
Hmm.
But when I was doing what's so called, which is outdated now, pounding the pavement,
Hmm.
it what I got at the time was go on our website and see what we have available, or
Yeah.
text this hire to this number, or attach your cover letter and resume to this email address.
Hmm. We went from physical paper, like you said, to now everything is digital, electronic, and it creates a different experience. There was something you said earlier I wanted to go back to, and that is that you were, first off, there's a book that you wrote about how to make money. I wanted to talk about that book because that was a really
Well, it's
hilarious.
not out yet. I need to finish that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. I've been working on it for about a few years, kind of after I released my first two books because a lot of research on on the genre I have to do. You know.
Hmm. Okay. And then the second thing was you said that are you looking for editors right now?
Well, I'm looking on like Fiverr right now, like for like my mom edited my first two books. Hi, mom, and also I'm looking for an editor like who will edit like over 9,000 words. I need to include some more things kind of finished up before I send it to an editor. And
Got it.
also, I'm also a book reviewer and beta reader, and I'm trying to start my own podcast called The Eclectic Story Weaver. It's in this idea research stages right now, and I also need to buy the equipment. And I have written it down here, like what the Eclectic Story Weaver is not, even though I've been doing research on Chat GTP or whatever. It's like I describe this podcast I'm trying to get together. It is where history, culture, creativity, and curiosity come together. Each
Okay.
episode uncovers fascinating stories from the past and present, from the evolution of celebrity fashion and forgotten historical figures to groundbreaking adventures, cultural movements, and intriguing what if scenarios. Join host Waterfall Adams, yours truly, as she weaves together diverse threads of human experience into stories that inform, inspire, entertain ideas, and also it's a company I've been working with called Precious Digital Marketing Agency, where they have created my Waterfall Adams logo,
Hmm.
did my book and my like book promos and trailers, and also we are getting together like my own website and also the logo to my upcoming podcast. I just also need to buy the equipment I need for
Okay.
that.
I like the description of the podcast, the what if scenarios. I've always been a fan of that. Um, so talk to me about you talk to us about your podcast that you're working on getting started, the book that you're writing behind the scenes right now, which I love the title, by the way. Talk to me about your current book that you have. What was the inspiration behind it? What is it about?
Well, this book, as you see right here, my first self-published book, is fifth anniversary. It is about the arts, blackness, 21st century issues. You might find some personification points. And my second book, Freedom V, it's available in like the paperback and the ebook version. And I'm trying to get the audio version together. I might need to get equipment for that one. I
Okay.
don't have a copy of it with me right now because I sold those copies in different events that will allow me. I need to order more offer copies, but I'm showing this as of like tonight, so as proof of the actual product's existence.
Hmm.
And I might get laid in different languages.
Okay. That is first off, that's amazing. Secondly, let's talk about so you said personification poems. Are they all personification poems?
Not all of them. The
Okay.
poetry collection is about different things.
Okay.
And that's why it's called the eclectic mind of V, because the eclectic is defined as like many different things is how it's defined.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's wonderful. I like the description, the way you play around with that word. So, okay. So talk to me about, I mean, you kind of shared the inspiration for the name of the book and, the thoughts behind it, but what made you decide to become a writer?
Well, it's one of the many things I can do with my degree in art history with a minor in dramatic arts that I got from the University of South Alabama.
Okay.
It just and I also
Congrats.
do freelance writing as well.
Hmm.
And I have two blogs. I might need to get. It's been a while since I get been on them. Might want to get back on them.
Hmm.
And also, I'm trying. And one of the poems, even though the it's featured in this book, the other book has a more of a revised version. I am trying to adapt that in the stage and screen.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I meant to tell you this earlier, but I had forgot while we were talking. I know you said you are working on writing the other book, but if you do get to a place where you feel like you would like to look into some other editors off of Fiverr that are credible and real, um, we have Nicole, who's on tonight. She does editing, and she also has an editor that is now on her team, MJ. So you can go to NicoleSmith.com or MiriamJackson.net. Either of those websites, they have
Did you
editing.
mind me to email me those
Yeah,
websites, because there's a lot of people who have those names, just like a lot of people who have a lot of people have my full government name, and which is one of the reasons why I have the pen and stage name I have now.
true. Okay, yes, we'll definitely get that sent over to you. And one of them is actually on the live this evening. But I'll make sure
Okay.
that we get those to you because both of them do provide that editing piece if you're wanting to just check it out. And then the other question that I was going to ask you was, what was the hardest part about publishing your books?
Well, like I'm self-published, which means like there are certain like agitators, like let's say KDP,
Mm-hmm.
Kobo, Apple Books, and Graham Spark.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have their each have their own guidelines to like what files they could that you could put in there. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, like you see on my first book, the paperback version, you see a picture of me on it. But when you happen to buy the second book, there's no picture on the back there because I
Uh-huh.
try to do like a different picture for the second book, but unfortunately it wasn't like meeting its certain, like it had to be some certain kind of measurement that
Oh.
like certain kind of measurement or something, and what I was trying to pick out wasn't really fitting to that.
Mm. Okay. Let's see. I do have a few more questions for you. So, out of this book that you have, what is your favorite poem in the book? Do you have a favorite poem?
Well, we were to discuss, well, I don't know if I have a favorite per se, but we were talking about jobs and careers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's a little taste of the eclectic mind of V. This poem in particular is called Real Job. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Get a real job, they say. A respectable job, they say. A stable job, they say. Now that's the biggest joke I ever heard. Really? Like, what is really a real job exactly? They say it's something you should get after high school. They say it's something that is easy to get. They say it's more respectable, like a teacher, an accountant, or a postal worker. Sometimes you don't get respect from a respectable job. Your parents always give advice, but now on how to get a job in the 21st century, the digital age, it is not the same old job application and interview process, especially since not in the so-called good old days back in my day. It seems like you want it seems like they want you to have that job rather than you wanting that job for yourself. No matter the interview, the same question is always asked. Why do you want to work here? Can't really think of a good answer or a lot other than it's because I'm broke, damn it. You feel utterly worthless when you can't even get a job at a fast food joint or even a hold on just a minute.
Oh
Hold on
yeah,
just a
absolutely.
minute.
No problem.
I'm live stream on the podcast, Hadley. Oh, I'm back.
Okay, no problem.
Edit that part. Anyway, you feel utterly worthless when you can't even get a job at a fast food joint or a regular 9 to 5. So the definition of a real job is something that is not what it seems to be anymore. Thank you.
Oh, let me hit the applause for you. That was applause worthy. So, I really do like the fact that you have fun with your poems because it definitely gives personality. And even the name of your book title that you have upcoming that you're working on definitely has personality to it. And it's very relatable because that whole conversation was extremely relatable. Getting a job, going out here into this world where people want it for you more than you might even want it for yourself. And only to find that the way that you do it and what is considered, a job is different, like your experience. Because I do remember when we were doing paper at job applications, and now you go in, if you go in, because like you said, now you can go online and, fill out your application online and they'll meet you
And
when.
and I mentioned something like in my book about how like I remember but like Books a Million used to be at the local mall where I was sitting in like the kind of like in the outdoor cafe part, look
Mhm.
at reading, looking at a newspaper. For those who do not know what a newspaper is, it's a paper that has news on it, and there's a section on there. It's called classifieds where they post jobs on there. So basically, I'm a millennial, which means I have seen the work, witnessed in my lifetime how the world has gone from analog to digital.
Yeah. Yeah. Different experience. What do you think about that? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Well, it's just like these changes have at a much more faster pace than previous generations. Like always been certain like change, like certain industries and certain jobs become more like they're more obsolete. For example, there's this book called Own Your Future. It talk about how it introduced me of a concept called serial entrepreneur.
Hmm.
And another book from Liz Ryan called Reinvention Roadmap, how like the talking about like like the new millennium job search. You gotta check them out sometime.
Okay. Will do. Will do. So, what's your favorite part of the changes that have happened with this digital age? And then what's your least favorite part?
Well, my favorite part is at least it provides like more options that I have never imagined. My least favorite part is by how so fast paced it can be. It can get hard to keep up at times.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of like a double-edged sword because, like you said, you got so many ideas that you didn't even think about that can be generated with typing or with a snap of a finger. But then once you get all of this information, it's like being thrown at you. So I would like to ask you, excuse me, um, what is there any last thing that you would like to share about your books or your future endeavors with the audience?
Well, it's also some more books I'm working on. Like a couple of these, they are my first fictions.
Hmm.
I'm also researching like how to do these fictions because not all fictions are the same. There's like genre, then there's
Yeah.
subgenre. For
Hmm.
example, there's this one called like Noel Nuptials. It's about like Christmas weddings, kind of like a collection of short stories like let's say from like an elopement to like the glamorous kind of formal kind of weddings, but it's just that I get that idea because around weddings around the Christmas season, the weddings be so beautiful and all.
They are.
It's just like there's romance and then
Hmm.
there's sub romance. Like I just wonder how I'm gonna go about it. Like either this book's gonna have story's gonna have either something like let's say something like wholesome like you see in like Hallmark channel,
Okay, yeah.
or some with spice, if you know what I mean.
I do. I do know what you mean. And yeah, that's true. That's a hard decision because everybody loves a classic romance story. But then at the same time, a lot of people enjoy that spice and that thrill. So I guess it really depends on the audience that you're speaking to, who it is you're writing for. That's the real question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And also, like what, like the setting of the, is it going to take place? Let's say Christmas of, let's say 1941, and
Hmm.
what happened in that year? It was when the 7th of that year, Pearl Harbor got attacked, and let's say this couple they trying to like plan on getting married and stuff, but then Pearl Harbor attacked and he might get drafted, so they gotta go to like yeah, gotta go to the courthouse and also have a little reception like at like the like their home or whatever, and also how the food at the reception kind of like affected, around wartime is like rations and stuff, and the
Hmm.
bride probably would have to borrow a dress or suit from somebody she knows, depending on like how much money she has or whatever. Like
That's
my maternal grandparents, God rest their souls. It was like 1948, 3 years after when World War II ended. He served in that. My grandpa served in that war. They got married at the courthouse, and they were married for like 54 years until he passed away.
wow. That's a long time. So you probably do have a lot of information on that era or that time period. I guess now the question becomes what are you inspired or excited the most about to write? Are you inspired to write about a older romance love story, or are you inspired to write about something that's more current?
Well, I think each story either might be either something current or something like the historical fictional romance, kind of like Bridgerton or Queen Charlotte.
Oh, okay. Bridgerton is very popular. That's true.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also what these characters gonna look like. Are they black? Are they
Yeah.
white?
What are their features that stand out? Because,
Are
like
they
you said,
is the person tall, short,
mhm.
skinny, plus sized, average height, dark, light?
So
What?
where can people follow you so that they can keep up with this
Well,
as you?
as you can see on that link, that's my link tree link. My social medias are on there. It just really sums it all up.
Okay, good. All right. So then the link that I have pinned to the top is Linktree. It is linktr.ee/waterfall Adams 86. So you guys can go follow her there. She said all of her social media pages are there. And Waterfall, I would just like to ask you, it's been a wonderful interview because I get to kind of
Thank
get
you.
to, yeah, I enjoy listening to like your thought process and what you're focusing on planning for the future. I want to ask you one last question, which is, if there was one message you want to leave with the audience to think about over the weekend, what would that be?
I usually say this in interviews, but give credit where it's due or they'll sue. You might find that quote in my second BV.
That's good. That's good. Oh, that's good, and that is legitimate. Like, very much so. Very important. Individuality, and also giving people their credit, their flowers, for their words and their work. So, great message. That was a good quote. Um, I would like to say thank you so much for joining us on the show, and I'd love to have you back. It's been a pleasure
Thank
learning
you.
about the book. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and continue doing your thing because you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Good
You're
night.
welcome. Good night.
Good night.
So that was another awesome interview. Today, as usual, we always have amazing interviews with all of the professionals that join us. But I just want to do a quick recap on everything that is to be discussed for these upcoming shows. Or not for these upcoming shows, but for the show that we had this evening. For anybody that wants a recap, you can always rewind. But I'm just going to drop in the comments our topics of discussion. So the first topic was, hold on. The first topic was coming from Tiffany. It was the journey to becoming her. The second topic was coming from Conitra, and it was using my testimony on helping others heal. And the third topic was coming from Tisha, and it was being open to change. The fourth topic was coming from Brenda, and it was breaking the silence on mental illness. And then the last topic, last but never least, came from Waterfall, and that was my books and endeavors. So she talked about her books, her endeavors. If you would like to be interviewed on our upcoming shows, I am going to drop the link in the comments, and I'm going to briefly put a ad so that you guys can see one of the promos that we have going on right now, just in case you want to take advantage of one of these sales promos coming from Bougie Steps. We'll go through the business opportunities and resources that I have available for everyone in just a moment. I'm going to bring up those links for you all. I enjoyed all the interviews tonight. It was fun. Everybody had a different story and topic. And I love, when I tell you guys, I love when I get to interview people and each interview is a different discussion. That's just so much fun as a interviewer. Okay, let's see. Our events. All right. So I'm going to give everyone 3 resources tonight. Okay. We're going to start off with the first free resource, and this is interviews. If you are wanting to have your brand interviewed on our platforms, you can head on over to bossbabeblog.com, and you can go click on our events button that's right on the first home screen. However, if you don't have the events button pulled up and you just want to go directly to being interviewed on this specific show, then I'm going to share it at the bottom. So we got resource of the night. free business interview. Check your comments. Depending on which platform you're on will determine if you can see this link that I'm about to drop in the comments for the Boss Babe Business Show, and that is what we're on this evening. Just hold on one second. Interview. There we go. All right, so we got the free business interview available. Drop it in the comments. And that is the resource of the night. The event of the night that I'm going to be sharing is actually going to be our upcoming Soft Girls Sunday event. So this is Cake, Karaoke, and Conversations. And you can find that on our actually, let me get you the direct link for that one, because we have two. The first one is if you just want to join the event and you're just wanting to register. The second one is if you want to leave notes. So I'm going to give you the one for if you just want to join and register. And if you register there, you can just tell them if you want to leave a note for the birthday women, me and Conitra. If you know both of us or either of us personally. If you don't know either of us personally, but you still want to come out and have a great time, then you can still do that and come enjoy the event. Either way, we're going to have a positive, uplifting time, have some music, some laughs, and just all those fun things that we're going to have for our event. So here's the direct link for Karaoke, Cake, and Conversations. I said it backwards. I knew I was saying it backwards, but it's okay. Let me drop that in the comments real quick. There you have it. That is the event of the night. And then last but never least, let's see. We got our event. We got our resource. And now let's go ahead and get our service of the night. And this is actually going to be our freebie of the night. And that is the free life coaching session coming from Radiantly Crowned. Dropping it in the comments. And it's going to be on her Radiant Resources page. All you got to do is just click on there and you'll find that free interview. All right. All that information is dropped in the comments. Now let's go ahead and start off by going through our wonderful sponsors this evening. So the first sponsor that I do want to shout out is going to be JC Fashion Finds Boutique, style that fits your everyday and your standout moments. JC Fashion Finds Boutique is a verified business listed in our directory, and they provide women's apparel. However, they also have a program called the JC Change Program, dedicated to donating work clothes and professional clothes to women in need that are trying to get a job but look presentable, and also entrepreneurs in need that are trying to elevate their wardrobe but maybe just don't have that funding yet to do so and elevate their professionalism. Now we're going to move on to our next sponsor, and that is She Cute Boutique. SheCuteBoutique.com services nationwide. They are Texas-based, another business that is listed in our directory, providing stylish women's apparel that you will love, and bold accessories as well, such as handbags, jewelry, so much more. The next sponsor that we are going to be shouting out this evening is going to be MJ's Tees and Custom Designs. So if you have not shopped with MJ's Tees and CustomDesigns.com, if you are needing a custom t-shirt, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, a hat, a hoodie, I couldn't think of it, a hoodie, you want to head on over to MJ's Tees and CustomDesigns.com. Phone number 229-234-2741. Our next wonderful sponsor is going to be EliteHair.net, DFW Texas hair braider. So this hair braider is providing, hair braiding for anyone that's in that DFW North Texas area. If you're needing that, they're also a sponsor at our Soft Girl Sunday event and a verified business listed in our directory. Shout out to them. The next sponsor that we are shouting out is Bling with Shell, a nationwide jewelry provider. PaparazziAccessories.com/Bling with Shell is where you can go if you would like to receive some stylish jewelry. The QR code is available as well. Shout out to you, Bling with Shell. We appreciate you. Our next sponsor is going to be travelwithmj.net. So travelwithmj.net is where they do the heavy lifting so that you can travel light. So if you are looking for a travel advisor, make sure you check them out. Hello. Thank you. Welcome back. I do remember you. Thanks for joining. Happy Thursday. I'm just over here shouting out all of our show sponsors. The next sponsor that I'm shouting out is going to be Jenkins Pro Tax Software. So this brand helps you if you are someone that has an EFA number, meaning that you are registered and you do probably provide taxes to someone else, tax services, and you're looking for a software, you can head on over to Jenkins Pro Tax Software. Check them out. Learn about them, connect with them. Their phone number is in there. You can screenshot this so you can have it on your phone to reach out to them when you're ready for that tax time. The next sponsor that we're going to be shouting out is Hand to Hand Retail and More, out of our hands and into yours. Unbeatable, affordable prices on furniture and appliances. Fast delivery. The address they provided is 6062 Meadowbrook Drive, Suite D, Fort Worth, Texas, 76112. So this sponsor found us, I'm assuming on social media or on a platform, but they decided to sponsor our show, and we truly appreciate them. Thank you very much, Hand to Hand Retail and More. The next sponsor that we had is Heartstrings Collective, creating a safe space for artists, one resource at a time. So if you are an artist looking for a place full of resources and community, I highly recommend checking them out. They actually decided to take the time and sponsor our show, which means that they do enjoy giving back to small businesses and promoting, growth within small businesses and creators and entrepreneurs. So just check them out, screenshot this ad, and shout out to Heartstrings Collective for your sponsorship. The next wonderful sponsor that we're going to be shouting out is the Premier Group, another wonderful brand that found us. They do business consulting and financial strategy. You can reach out to them at 205-790-5759. Their website is attached as well. Screenshot this so you can keep this for later. Another awesome brand that decided to sponsor our show. We truly appreciate you. And thank you very much for joining us this evening. Okay, so let's see, who else are we shouting out? Another amazing sponsor, and that is going to be Charlie Shops. So Charlie Shops provides deals, custom baskets for holidays, birthday parties, couple parties, and more. You're just going to text 757-842-0556 to reach out to Charlie Shops. All right. Did I mention all of our wonderful sponsors? I believe I did. Now that I've done that, I just want to shout out a couple of resources. Make sure you head on over to LacoleSmith.com if you would like to be interviewed on her show. Shout out to, Bougie Steps for her amazing promo that she shared with us earlier, which was the $65, 2 free anklets with order $65 or more. Shout out to Bella Boutique for their stylish apparel and accessories. And here's another screenshot for Motivational Talk, Dialogues, and Show. But there you have it. Oh, nice. Okay. We have an anime artist. That's awesome. So thank you for joining. And if you would love to be interviewed on our show, we would love to have you. I did drop a link earlier where you can go to apply to be interviewed. And I can bring you on and we can talk about your anime if you like. But I do want to say a huge thank you, a high level of appreciation and gratitude to everyone that has supported us, watched our shows, liked, shared this video, shared any of our videos. Oh, see, yeah, no, we would have to definitely have permission from Mom. You'd have to be on with an adult if you wanted to be interviewed. But if you were able to get an adult here, then we would absolutely love to support you. So thank you. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that took the time to watch our live. I want to remind everybody to take care of themselves. I want to remind everyone to go for the things that they want to in life. Yeah, very true. I want to remind everyone that even on the days when you feel low and you feel tired and you feel drained, to take a deep breath, take care of yourself, and keep going, because oftentimes, right when you're getting ready to give up on something, that's when you're going to get the best reward if you were to keep going. So don't stop. Keep pursuing your passion. Keep pursuing your calling. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. And keep doing the things that make you smile and make you happy. And I just want to let everybody know that if you ever want to be a part of our upcoming events in person, or online, you can head on over to bossbayblog.com. Reach out to us, learn about our community, because there's so many wonderful things in store. And if you have questions, make sure you contact us on our website and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you all so, so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful evening. Keep being awesome. Keep working hard. Take a deep breath, get you some rest, and get up and ask yourself, what kind of impact do you want to leave on people? When you go to sleep at night, are you going to be proud of the impact that you left on someone? Did you leave something positive? Did you tell someone they did a great job? Did you give someone a hug that was having a bad day? Did you support somebody in a way that they hadn't been supported? Just ask yourself what kind of impact you want to make, and keep that in mind every day that you wake up. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys again. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you too. Thank you for your support. And I look forward to continuing to support and share words of encouragement to everyone that takes the time to watch and support our channel. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. All right. Good night, everyone. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye-bye.